Turnpike Sports is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weishuttle. Doug, we didn't get a chance to talk about it because the show was released before the terrible accident with Tiger Woods, but absolutely horrific accident. Our best wishes go out to Tiger Woods and his family for his speedy recovery. And
watching the news, he's recovering from not only the crash, but also some of the procedures he's had to help him recover from that crash. It was... single car crashes seem to be some of the worst out there.
Apparently, that was it was a terrible road. Apparently, lots of accidents on that road. It's a slope going right or something like that. But a lot of accidents occurring on that road. Hopefully they'll fix that road. I know there's some reports coming out that they're going to try and do something with that road with regard to construction and things like that. So hopefully that's the last accident that occurs there.
Yeah, it seems to be a very dangerous part of that neighborhood he was in, and it just happened, to him. And it's sad to see, and it's equally sad with the other accidents that's happened before that in that area. Sure. But glad to see that a neighbor was was around to actually report it that quickly, and the first responders were there within minutes.
Absolutely. The first responders were amazing. The speed that they got there and extricated him from the car and got him to the hospital. Kudos to the first responders, as always. Well, we got a full show for you. We have a By the Numbers segment coming up, and also we have our Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we talk about what's going on in the sports books across the country. It's been a busy week in sports, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
This week we're going to talk about sports books going public. Yeah, everybody talks about, some of these great developments that's aiding the sports betting industry in the United States as it grows and grows and grows, whether it's technology, whether it's the streaming platforms, whether it's content creation, whatever shape, form, the data deals, that sort of thing. I think probably the biggest trend, the biggest benefit for the sports betting industry has been this idea of taking your sports betting operating company public.
It's interesting because I have some stocks in the like the casino and the sports betting industry, and it's interesting to see the change of thought with a lot of stockbrokers. When I first bought some casino stock, stockbrokers used to call that vice stocks.
They still do.
They still do, but not the guy I have now, because the younger guys are kind of hip with it. They see the benefit in buying casino stocks or sports betting stocks. But, there was always that stigma, especially with that term vice stocks. So I'm glad to see the whole idea of it is changing.
Well, it's interesting because they're going public in two different ways, too. Some of them are doing deals with these special purpose acquisition companies or SPACs. Mm-hmm. Others are just going the traditional IPO route. And it's always fun to see exactly how these companies make these decisions. We've got a couple big ones that either have happened or will be happening or could be happening, I should say. First one is the Score, the Canadian company, the Score Media and Gaming. They actually went through a traditional IPO, and they are now not only listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, but they are also on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange in the United States under the symbol SCR.
Oh, okay. I got to check them out.
They actually launched last week. Price was $27 per share U.S., and I think it was 6 million Class A shares were done by the underwriters for this deal. There was original talk about maybe 5.2 million shares, that sort of thing, but they decided to go with 6 million, $27 per share. It's about $162 million going to the Score Media for operations purposes.
Well, it's a good way to raise money,
and it's actually a really great company.
Absolutely.
Not only is it a sports betting company as the Score Bet, but if people are familiar with the Score by now, they have to be, because they are a statistical, a news, content creator that for sports you actually have to pay attention to.
They're a great product. I mean, even before sports betting occurred in New Jersey, I had the Score app on my phone just to follow my teams, just to follow the news of the teams, just to follow, they have stats on not only the teams, but your players during the games, which is fantastic it's great for sports betting now, but it was really great for fantasy sports.
Well, the other side of the same coin going public is the SPACs. And we've actually got two to talk about. One is with the MGM Resorts International former CEO Jim Murren. He's going to be forming an SPAC to do some acquisitions for gaming and sports betting companies and content. That is still being formed right now. He's working with Chris Grove,
sure,
who we're familiar with. The other one is Sport Radar, and they've been talking about going public and these SPACs with Sport Radar for a couple of years now.
Sport Radar is everywhere. I mean, if you look at, I think ESPN, I forgot which show used them, or maybe it's that Fox show.
Pretty much everybody uses their data.
Yeah, if you look at the end of any important sports betting television show or any important sports betting property, entertainment property, you're going to see the word Sport Radar probably on it.
Well, their big things are the data streams,
sure,
and also the integrity issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Sport Radar has been, circling around going public for a couple of years. Back in 2018, when they were formed, they were valued at $2.4 billion. That was a couple of years ago. And last year, a couple of SPACs had approached them to do the merger and going public thing, and they were, at that time, valued at, $8 billion.
Wow. Okay.
Now, right now, this year, in 2021, they are now revisiting that issue of whether to go public through SPACs or traditional IPO. Right now, they're valued at over $10 billion. $10 to $12 billion is what the range a lot of different places are saying. So they have grown by leaps and bounds since 2018 when they launched.
See, wouldn't you think that Sport Radar would just do a traditional IPO? I mean, I think they're big enough, and I think they have the name to stand alone with the traditional IPO. Why would they want to go to an SPAC? Is there something beneficial for an SPAC?
Because SPACs can outbid other people.
Sure, I guess.
And traditional IPO would give them less money. A traditional IPO for Sport Radar had been valued at around $6 to $8 billion. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. But with a SPAC, they're looking at $10 to $12 billion. So extra $4 billion in your pocket's not a bad thing.
It's not bad.
I mean, SPACs are everywhere anyway.
Sure.
Cannabis industry is big with them right now. Even the adult entertainment industry, Playboy Enterprises, they got delisted a couple years back from the New York Stock Exchange. They used an SPAC to get back on the New York Stock Exchange.
Okay.
So that's a hot trend, these special purpose acquisition companies. So, keep an eye on Sport Radar. You got the ETFs looking at it too, like Bets and a couple of other ones from Roundhill Investments, that sort of thing. They're looking at what they're going to be doing too as well. So the market's always changing, but the trend right now is going with the NSPAC and going public.
Look at that. Some stock tips from Doug.
Exit 2.
Over in the esports side of things, we have the NHL expanding into more and more of the esports industry. Everyone has been watching some of the deals some of the different NHL teams have been doing with esports, especially I think a couple of them did some deals with Esports Entertainment Group, where they do the esports tournaments branded for the hockey teams.
Okay.
The NHL as a league has now entered into a deal with a company called DreamHack Sports Games. Now, DreamHack Sports Games is a European company that basically creates esports leagues based upon the traditional sports games. They've done golf, the European Tour for golf, soccer leagues like Superliga. I always say that wrong. And they even did HyperX, a deal with to do eSuperliga with HyperX.
So when you see a, quote, traditional sport doing something with an e-sport thing, that's what DreamHack really does. They focus on the traditional sports that everyone knows.
They're one of the leaders in that industry. There are other companies that do that.
Okay.
But they're one of the leaders. What they're going to be doing with the NHL, they're going to work with the NHL to enhance what they call the NHL Gaming World Championship. The NHL has been doing this on the esports side for a couple of years now, but they are going to be working with DreamHack Sports to enhance it. DreamHack is going to be taking over the production of the esports event. It's going to have live and online components together.
Okay. When
live esports tournaments resume, under safe conditions, that is.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing a lot of NHL esports tournaments leading up to this World Championship. It's starting this month, as a matter of fact.
You know, I've been checking out footage of those live esport tournaments. There's a cable channel, I think it's Vice, that actually, I think they have a show about esports and things like that in gaming. And,
there are a lot of networks now.
I checked it out, and boy, they have some footage. Those esport live tournaments were packed.
Every so often, you also see on TNT the E-League.
Yeah.
So they're everywhere on major networks as well.
I think Cheddar has something.
Cheddar's got an esports
show. Yeah.
But the one additional note for the NHL deal with DreamHack, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. NHL with DreamHack. DreamHack is going to be looking for the sponsors for this championship league. NHL has always just gone to their own sponsors, for the on ice sponsors. They are now going to be expanding it, going to get new sponsors, and that's going to be DreamHack's purview to bring in this new blood into the esports tournaments for the NHL.
Okay.
Exit 3.
Every week there seems to be something really interesting in the trademark area, especially in the sports trademarks. We're going to talk a little exercise trademarks, though, today.
Exercise trademarks. All right.
You know what a spinning class is.
Yeah, that's stationary bikes.
Right. That's
for
nice
people my age, yes. It's a stationary bike.
Well, yeah, that's
now you have all the stationary bikes hooked up to internet and things like that.
Well, now spinning and spin are everyday terms.
Yeah.
Well, hold your horses on that one, because
someone has a trademark spinning.
Mad Dog Athletics.
All right.
Back in the 90s, they trademarked the term spin and spinning for use on their stationary bikes and fitness instruction programs.
Wow, it's pretty good move on their part.
Well, you may be wondering who the hell is Mad Dog Athletics. Nobody knows who Mad Dog Athletics is, but they own these trademarks.
Oh, good for them.
And they have gone from a manufacturer and a product development company for these equipment pieces under the term spinning to just enforcing their trademark, or bullying to try and enforce their trademark. They send out cease and desist letters. They file infringement suits.
Well, look, if they have the trademark, that's their right to do it. I mean, I'm sure, people who use the term don't like it when someone else has the trademark, but you know what? I think they had the foresight to get the trademark.
They sent a cease and desist letter to Peloton. Wrong company to do this to, matter of fact. Peloton's the biggest one out there right now in terms of the spinning classes, the exercise bikes. Last year, Mad Dog even had the temerity to file a patent infringement suit against Peloton. So they seem to be going after Peloton here. They sent a cease and desist letter for them to stop using spinning in one instance. They filed a patent infringement case on some of their products that Peloton supposedly is infringing upon. That's still in court. So Peloton got fed up with all this, and they have filed a petition in the trademark office to cancel these marks.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. And
that should be an interesting fight. I mean, certainly, Mad Dog Athletics have a trademark, legally obtained trademark, and they have the legal right to defend it how they see fit. And,
well, that's what a lot of people don't understand about trademarks. You can get a trademark, but if you stop using it in the way it's registered, you can lose it. It can be invalidated.
Well, I'm sure
if someone attacks it, which Peloton is doing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure Mad Dog Athletics will have their lawyers say, we are using it in a certain way, and I'm sure that'll be decided, and someone's going to decide it, whether it be the in court or whether it be the trademark office.
Well, this is the same issue companies like Kleenex and Xerox had. Mm-hmm. Their names or their marks, Kleenex and Xerox, became generic terms.
Yeah,
when somebody went to make a copy, make a Xerox.
Make a Xerox, or, you need a tissue, grab a Kleenex, even if it's not the Kleenex brand.
You sneeze, someone says, here's a Kleenex. But that's what the argument is. The term spin and spinning have gone from unique and coined terms to generic everyday parts of the fitness industry, and they are trying now to get rid of these marks so that everybody doesn't have to deal with a cease and desist letter from Mad Dog here.
So it's Peloton's viewpoint, and what Peloton is alleging, that Mad Dog is only bullying people?
They have a track record of not doing anything other than sending cease and desist letters.
According to Peloton, though.
Trademark infringements. They've had other cases in the past with this. They've gone to court several times over this. All they do,
and yet they still have the trademark.
No one's ever attacked it.
Okay,
no one's ever had the brains to actually attack the trademark. If this is actually going on, where they're not really doing anything, and they're just using the cease and desist letters, that's a valid attack on the actual trademark registration. If they are putting the products out, that's going to be something to overcome. What Peloton is hanging their hat on is these terms have gone from specific to generic.
Okay.
And it's a valid argument.
It's an interesting argument.
Whether or not the trademark office agrees with it, it's going to be another issue. I think it's going to be fun to watch this because, again, generic terms can't be trademarked. But again...
Yeah, I wonder if cases like this, certainly this will be cited in cases from now on because, if Mad Dog wins, that's going to be, cited by a lot of people. If Peloton wins, it's going to be cited by a lot of people in the future going forward with trademarks. It should be interesting to see how everyone applies the law here.
The only other thing they got to look out for is whether or not the trademark office considers this a retaliatory attack. If Peloton's being sued by Mad Dog for patent infringement, that could be viewed as this is a retaliatory attack on Mad Dog, which would hurt their chances in the trademark office trademark trial and appeal board. You never know. But again, it's an interesting little situation going on.
It's interesting what Peloton is alleging, and it'll be interesting to see what Mad Dog has in response to it. And should be an interesting battle to watch.
It's also probably going to end up being settled, too.
Who knows?
Exit 4.
Last exit, we're going into the world of cryptocurrency.
But crypto is everywhere.
Well, I actually came across this story here. The NBA Top Shot. I saw it trending. It was I was not familiar with it, but it was trending on Twitter. It was trending on Instagram, and I had to go take a look at what NBA Top Shot was. I thought it was some kind of video game, but it's not. It's a crypto collectible platform. And NBA Top Shot has a deal with a company called Dapper Labs, where this site creates what they call moments. Now, moments are little video highlights that are interlaced with a blockchain cryptocurrency to create a non-fungible token. Now, what that means is...
What's a what?
Non-fungible token.
Non-fungible token. What is that?
It's a blockchain method of creating a instead of saying it's one of 20, in the terms of a collectible card series.
Okay.
There's only one of these.
Oh, okay.
You can't copy it. You can't do anything other than buy and sell it and trade it. Now these are called moments. If they created current NBA stars video highlights that are basically collectible cards. People can buy and sell these little video moments between each other on this platform called Top Shot. Now, what caused Top Shot to trend was there was a 7-day period at the end of February. At the end of February here, they generated $53.9 million in sales just by the buying and selling and trading of these NBA Top Shot moments. 7 days, $53 million.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's
incredible.
They brought in 33,000 new users, roughly almost 475,000 transactions on buying and selling these NFTs. That's the shorthand for non-fungible tokens.
Okay. So how long are these video clips? I mean, these aren't really long, right?
No, these are just highlight clips.
All right. Okay.
Basically, you see someone dunking like a spectacular dunk.
Yeah.
That would be a moment captured by NBA Top Shot where you can buy it.
Wow.
You can bid on it, buy it, sell it, trade it, whatever you want to do with it.
Okay.
Think of a collectible card, and you ever see the action shot in the cards?
Yeah.
Think of it as a moving action shot on the card. That's what these moments are. Two of them. Now, moments.
This is just for NBA,
This
right?
is just NBA.
Okay.
Two of them, Zion Williams had a highlight reel shot, and also LeBron James had a moment. Both went for $100,000 each.
Okay.
It's a very interesting niche inside the card collectible community because they're technically not cards, but they are cards if you think about it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know. I guess cards are the only kind of comparable thing that these things have now.
Well, Dapper Labs was pegged by NBA back in, let me get the date right here. This was launched in October of 2020. So it's only a couple of months old.
Okay.
Dapper Labs is best known for, and I didn't know this, but best known for Crypto Kitties.
I've never heard of that.
They are basic, same thing, except
okay.
they're videos of cats.
Okay.
They're moments of cats.
So they went from cats to NBA stars.
NBA has created this. So they're going to be doing all of this. This is basically being considered the largest NFT market ever in the history of blockchain non-fungible token markets. And it's gotten so good that they're incorporating the Top Shot Moments platform into NBA 2K. You can actually purchase moments during the games.
Okay.
And they're also in negotiations with the Players Association to get rights to the old-time highlights.
That'd be
to
interesting.
Make moments.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun to see.
So it's a very unique market within a market of cryptocurrency, but it's also a unique market within the market of card collectibles. So NBA Top Shot, I got to actually take a look at this because it looks really interesting, just these moments.
And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a great show coming up for you. Stick around because later on we have the Turnpike Sports Book Report where we talk about what's going on in the world of sports. But what's next? Is a By the Numbers segment up next? Or
By the Numbers.
It's a By the Numbers segment where we let the numbers do the talking. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. Go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus the 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. That's BABE16, because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
With some of the best promotions and offers in the sports betting market, PointsBet simply stands out. And now PointsBet is offering one of the best sign-up offers in the sports betting market today. New customers signing up with code BET21 receive 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Get up to $500 back if your first fixed odds bet loses, and up to $1,500 if your first points betting bet loses. That's code BET21 for 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000 at PointsBet. PointsBet. It pays to be fast. Must be 20 years or older and injury to place that. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem. 800-GAMBLER.
Tax Solutions Now is a complimentary referral service that connects callers to companies that provide tax services.
Money matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right, money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industries. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377.
And By the Numbers is sponsored by Play Sugar House Online Casino and Sportsbook in New Jersey. Sign up at playsugarhouse.com/Pike and get a first deposit match of up to $250. Enjoy the casino experience online. Play Sugar House offers over 400 games online, slots, table games, hey, even bingo. It's like being in a casino without leaving your home. That's playsugarhouse.com/Pike to get your first deposit match of up to $250 today. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org.
And we got another edition of the Turnpike Sports By the Numbers segment where we let the numbers do the talking in certain stories here. I'm going to be throwing out 3 numbers for Dave to figure out whether or not.
And I'll get all 3 numbers wrong.
So we'll be doing that.
Who thought of the premise of this? Let me throw out an ambiguous number and let Dave think of it.
Some of them are common sense.
All right, no. Okay, none of them are.
I think they're all common sense. Okay. But anyway, first number, 11 million.
11 million, that's either a dollar figure or, I mean, could it be a ratings for a TV sporting event? I'll go number figure, but that's as far as I'm going to go with number figure.
This is the amount that was bet on table tennis in Colorado in the month of January.
$11 million.
$11 million.
I mean, people who listen to this know I just don't get the allure of table tennis. Hey, if you're fans of it, great, good. Enjoy it. Bet on it all you want. Hopefully you win a lot of money in table tennis. But I tried it early in the pandemic, and I just couldn't get into it. But where is this now? Is this Colorado?
This is Colorado.
Because I've heard Colorado loves their table tennis, which is fine, which is great. It's a international sport with a lot of fans, so I just couldn't get into it.
The actual handle for betting on table tennis in Colorado in January was $11.82 million.
Wow.
$11.805 million was bet online in Colorado on table tennis. So somebody's sitting there with their little phone on there and looking at the table tennis lines and just going boom, boom, boom.
Well, look, when my limited experience with betting on table tennis, I saw it streamed on the actual online sportsbook I was placing the bet on, and it was just a camera with two guys playing ping pong.
But it's a fast moving game.
But look, I'm wondering if it would get more people like myself if it was, if the production value was a little better. Maybe because I only saw it with two guys and a video camera streaming in an online sports book, and that's all that it was. I know maybe other sports books have better production value than the one I was looking at, but maybe if it had announcers and had a backstory of the players, it gave me some insight of what the whole
what do you
table.
Want, like a wrestling thing?
I don't know. Just get me involved in it a little bit. All I saw was I looked at table tennis. It was streaming on the thing, and I threw a bet on it just to see what would happen.
Do you want heckling from the stands?
No. I'm just a little bit of production value. Maybe like the story of how that player got to where they're at, or something like that. I don't know, and maybe an explanation of the rules might have helped me. And shame on me for betting on a sport I don't really know the rules to.
Well, see, my first thought was how much of this was bet pre-match and how much of it was in-game.
Oh, the in-play betting.
Because it's a fast-moving game.
I didn't even try that.
The stats change constantly.
Yeah.
But again, Colorado seems to love table tennis. Bettors bet more on table tennis than ice hockey, college football, MMA, tennis, and golf.
Well, but if you like it, obviously it has fans. It's an international sport, but I just need something more to get me involved, to pull me into the table tennis community.
Do you want a flaming ball or something? Or
I don't know. Do something.
Metal balls, maybe that.
I don't know.
But
I did enjoy the table tennis movie with Balls of Fury.
Balls of Fury. Yes.
See, it has to be something like that. A tournament on a far-off island where you're invited to play table tennis.
I don't know how the ping pong industry feels about that.
I'm waiting
movie
for
yet,
that.
So.
I'm waiting for that.
But you want an even more staggering number? $87.02 million in total since the Colorado sports betting market launched in May for table tennis. Has been bet on table tennis.
Wow. Okay.
Now, it's not just Colorado. Table tennis seems to have a following in other states, and I found one where it's considered one of the big four sports for sports betting. Oregon.
Wow, okay.
They had.
I wonder if this is a West Coast kind of thing.
I don't know.
I'm not hearing any East.
You mean get over the Rockies and?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should give it another shot, but I don't know. I just can't get into it.
Table tennis bettors bet $21.1 million in Oregon for 2020. That places them in fourth. Basketball was first. Football and soccer were the only other sports that beat table tennis in Oregon in the year 2020, last year. So table tennis is I don't know how big it is on the East Coast. I really see people talking about it on the East Coast. I think you're right. There may be some kind of different aspect to it that the West Coast prefers over the East Coast, but I don't see it talked too often about on the East Coast anymore. Next number. 14.
I think I know this one because we have an office in Massachusetts, and is this the number? It was either 14 or 15, the number of sports betting bills that were introduced. But
14 is the number of 14? Sports betting bills introduced in Massachusetts. All
right,
and they are all over the place.
None of them will get passed.
Well, the problem is they're not going to get passed because there's too many competing ones with different angles and aspects here. Let me go through some of these.
Plus, the governor has some very interesting ideas about sports betting and college sports.
Well, the governor's is the one that may pass. Everyone is looking at that because that one is
But he
most
forbids
complete.
betting on college sports of any kind.
That's probably going to be amended out of it at some point.
Yeah.
But Governor Charlie Baker, his House Bill 678 has a tax rate of 10% for retail, 12.5% for online betting. A couple other ones here. You mentioned the college betting ban in Baker's bill. Another one, Senate Bill 2259 from Senator Tarr also has a ban on college betting. You go over to Senate Bill 3875. gives casinos one sports betting license but allows up to 10 mobile-only licenses. So the casinos don't get multiple skins, but you're going to have 10 mobile licenses under this one. You go over to House Bill 3606 and Senate Bill 2237. They're companion bills. 10% hold, legislatively forced. Like Tennessee.
Okay.
Well,
just like Tennessee.
I'm starting to see 10% becoming more and more naturally achieved by some of these sports books.
Well, if that happens, why do they have to put it in a bill? So
just to guarantee that floor.
Well,
I don't know how that's going to be received.
Let the market do its thing. Don't legislate it.
House Bill 3786 and Senate Bill 192 would create less than 10 operators in the state, which makes no sense to me. You should have a bigger market than that, just to create not only competition but bring in more revenue.
Well, more revenue, more competition, and that also means better things for the customers. You have more competition. The competition, vies for the people's money and the vies for the people's business, which means better product for the people and more perks for the customer.
And it's also one of the other one. There's one of two bills that have a very low license fee, $250,000 under this bill to get a license.
Huh. Okay.
Another one has a $100,000 license fee, but requires official league data and an integrity fee.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Yep. A couple other bills are calling for a commission to be formed to study sports gambling before they do anything.
So it means like 10 years down the road, you'll get sports betting.
Then you have this other one that this Senator Brendan Crichton. This is the other bill that's getting a lot of attention because it's a favorable one. $10 million license fee paid by casino operators, racetracks, and mobile-only sports books. It's a wide open field. It's more like the New Jersey model than a lot of the other states. And let's see, the Senate companion bill, $5 million application fee and a $1 million renewal every 3 years. So there's a whole variety of different ideas out there of how sports betting should be run in Massachusetts. I think they're all going to get boiled down into one big bill some way, shape, or form.
What Massachusetts should do is look around the country. There are a lot of states that have sports betting. Pick out your favorite one. Pick out the one that everyone is happy with, and see the results of that sports betting state with their rules, and pick one of those.
The one thing that's missing in this hodgepodge,
use that as a model.
14 bills. I don't see any of them saying the sports teams should get them.
Which state said that?
There's a couple of them. There's Florida now. There's Texas. There's Arizona.
I was thinking of Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all. That's one of the new trends to give the sports betting teams. Virginia, carves out. They're not part of the legislative mandated license. The sports teams can get their own licenses. Washington football team got one.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, just for regulatory purposes, I'm not too sure.
You got a sports book in Philly right now, right in downtown where the stadiums are.
I know, but they're not.
Might as well give it to a team.
But it's not owned by the team.
Yeah. Well, they're making deals with these betting books.
You're putting the fox in charge of the hen house to sound like an 80-year-old guy. So it's,
again, it's one of those. If there's nothing else there, I mean, if you're in a state with no casinos, it makes sense to do. But if you've got casinos like Texas, Virginia, and Tennessee don't have casinos, that makes kind of sense to give it to the sports teams for now. And then, open up the casino gambling stuff. But, again, Florida is going to be an interesting one to watch if they actually allow the sports teams to run the sports betting industry there. Last number for the week, 1.068 million.
I have no idea what that is. It's too low to be some kind of, number in sports betting or casinos and things like that. Is that a viewership or is that a attendance thing?
Total audience delivery number.
Oh, okay.
Total audience for the Flyers-Bruins game from Lake Tahoe.
That was an awful game. The Flyers had a whole bunch of people in COVID protocol, And it was just an awful game to watch. Unless you're a Boston Bruins fan, it was an awful game to watch.
And you bet the over for the total number of goals.
If you bet the over.
It was 7-3, 10 goals scored.
Yeah.
But that was the 1.068 million viewers made it the most watched NHL regular season game ever on an NBC Sports Network.
Wow.
Previous record was 978,000 viewers earlier this year, as a matter of fact. Penguins Flyers. Wherever the Flyers are, they seem to generate an audience for NBC Sports Networks.
I wonder how much of that was a curiosity factor, because the day before the game was postponed because of the weather conditions. When I say weather conditions, it meant it was too sunny, and it affected the ice. I wonder
it melted the ice. Didn't affect the ice. It melted the ice.
Well, no, but I always wonder if a lot of people tuned in just to see, what would happen. I mean, look, Philly and Boston always bring in big numbers, but I was just wondering if more people around the country were curious to see how the ice would hold up in the outdoor game, because the day before it didn't hold up very well.
Well, the other numbers, if you break it down even more, are more interesting. 1.019 million people watched it via TV only, no streaming.
Oh, okay.
The first time that an NHL regular season game exceeded 1 million TV-only viewers. First time.
Truth be told, I don't think I've ever watched a streamed hockey game. I've always watched it on television. I've never watched a streamed hockey game on my phone or my tablet or my computer. I should say it like that.
Well, it was also the most streamed NHL regular season game in NBC Sports digital history.
Okay.
And the last little record that they want to throw out there, Flyers Bruins, don't mind my stuttering there, Flyers Bruins was also the most watched NHL regular season game on cable in 19 years.
Huh.
Sharks, okay. Red Wings in 2002 on ESPN had 1.278 million viewers. So it's still the most, but that was the most watched NHL regular season game in 19 years on TV. I think Tahoe had a lot more to do with it than the actual game itself.
Yeah, it was kind of a novelty thing. I mean, it was beautiful.
It looked great.
I mean, just absolutely beautiful setting for a hockey game. But like I said, it was just awful for the ice, and good for the ice crew who actually had to deal with stuff like that to make it playable.
I actually hope the NHL incorporates that rink into their NHL esports thing that we talked about earlier into in the show.
Yeah, no,
because it was a beautiful rink there.
Yeah, stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-462-5722 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-462-5722. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-462-5722.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, Give us a call at 800-231-9279. That's 800-231-9279. 800-231-9279.
More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Sign up today at PlaySugarHouse.com and don't forget to use our promo code PIKE to take advantage of their first deposit match up to $250. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casinos now, your favorite sports book available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, in this week's book report, we got national numbers to talk about. We got some state records and state numbers to talk about. Got a bunch of deals, 2 20-year access deals, and also a very interesting deal with a hockey team that was pulled or canceled almost as soon as it was announced.
I know what you're talking about.
So we'll talk about the Knights in a little bit. Let's start with the revenue numbers and handle numbers for January. January seemed to be a really good month for a lot of states.
Yeah, no, it was.
A lot of records being set, whether it's a handle record or a revenue record or a tax record.
You gotta love playoff football.
Well,
that's all I'm going to say. That's my opinion, and without looking too deeply into the numbers, but playoff football is always a good draw.
I think it's everything. It's not just playoff football, but it's
in the East. You have the winter months, and it was a terrible.
You still have hockey. You still have
snow. Everyone's staying inside. You have the pandemic. Not a lot of places to go.
The one thing I think did help a lot of the betting was the extra playoff game in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
they had the 2 extra ones. I think it was 3-3 on Wild Card Weekend.
Sure, yeah.
So they did have a lot of extra stuff, but Nevada came in with an interesting number. They fell just short of a handle record, $646.6 million and change. That's second all time, up almost 10% from the previous month in December. January of 2020, they were about 29% above that. So year over year, they did well. Month over month, they did well. The revenue was 160% from year over year, January 20 to January 2021. $52.3 million. It's interesting because it's the fourth time their handle and the fourth time their revenue both hit a certain plateau. Fourth time the handle went over $600 million. Fourth time the revenue hit the $50 million mark as well.
Remember when everyone was worried, especially Nevada was worried, that other states will get sports betting, the numbers will go down for them? I mean, I think it's just getting stronger in Nevada.
I think the competition's helping.
Yeah, maybe. You got to remember, one of the reasons why New Jersey got sports betting was certainly to make money, but their number one reason was to stop losing money to Vegas. And I don't know. The numbers in Vegas haven't been suffering. Let me just say it that way. So I'm not sure if it's from out of town people or what that is. But New Jersey's doing amazing. And I guess they did stop losing money to Nevada. I guess that, everyone agrees on that one.
I think New Jersey is taking over as the top spot
now.
Right now.
Well, just because of population. Just because of population density.
And also I think...
But it's not hurting Nevada, other states having it.
I think the fact that coronavirus restrictions are still hindering the travel to Nevada. I think once people start getting back to where Nevada was visitation-wise, travel-wise, you might see Nevada start creeping back up again.
The one time I would look seriously at Nevada's numbers if California ever got sports betting, because that seems to be the biggest state next to them and the most populous state next to them. It seems like everyone in California goes to Vegas to do their betting. So if California ever got sports betting, I'm very curious to see how Nevada would do.
Well, I think Colorado is also a threat to Nevada, too.
Sure, but it's no California.
No, it's no California, but there's no telling when California is going.
Yeah,
I think New York...
That could be off in the future.
New York is going to get sports betting before California, I think.
Which is a concern for New Jersey.
Exactly.
They'll
lose
New
20%.
Jersey's concerned about New York the same way Nevada should be concerned about California in the future.
Well, I just wonder if New Jersey really is going to lose that 20% of New Yorkers, because I think you got a lot of fans of that Meadowlands complex there.
It's a fun place to go. I mean, unless New York City gets an actual sports book inside of the New York State line, I think FanDuel and PointsBet, who own the Meadowlands, who does the Meadowlands sports books, are going to do just fine.
I'm curious to see how the Hamptons Casino might impact a lot of things, too. I mean, it was just announced. I don't know when it's going to be actually opened.
Yeah.
But that might actually impact a lot of the Long Islanders going to the Meadowlands.
Sure.
Because I know that's a Jets area, and a lot of Long Islanders go to the Meadowlands. Even if they can't get in, they go to some of the bars around there.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
a couple
stuff.
years away, so that should be interesting to watch.
And they're not going to have sports betting. Not right now, anyway. Yeah. And like I said, New York hasn't even passed anything for sports betting. But Colorado...
For online sports betting.
Sports betting. Well, even in the eastern part of the state.
Yeah. I mean, they have sports betting, but
you want to travel 6 hours.
Far upstate New York.
Yeah. You got to travel 6 hours just to place a bet.
Yeah.
Legally, anyway. Otherwise, you go to New Jersey, which makes more sense anyway right now. Colorado, let's talk about that for a second. $326.9 million handle in January. That is a strong showing for that state. It's not as big as it has been in the past, but it is a record, in terms of West Coast style sports books.
So they have a handle record.
They have a handle record of $326.9 million. They also brought in a, $23.14 million revenue, which is a record.
Is that gross or?
That's gross, and then a net revenue record of $11.73 million. It's interesting to see Colorado because it's almost like a mirror image of what New Jersey is, to a certain extent. I think the mobile sports betting is more what people want out there, more so than New Jersey. I think a lot of the snow in Colorado may hinder travel to some of the casinos. But
a lot of fans of table tennis, too, so that helps, too.
98
I'm halfway joking, by the way, but, table tennis is doing great in Colorado.
98% was done online.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
That still has to do with COVID.
COVID and also winter in Colorado.
A lot of snow, like I said.
I was in Colorado once in October, and it snowed.
Colorado went over $1.5 billion in their 9 months of existence. That's one of the quickest to that mark.
That's fast.
That's very fast. Looking around the country here, Tennessee had a record revenue, $21.8 million. That's the operator revenue, brought in about $4.3 million in state taxes. They had a handle of $211 million in January. That's up 16% from December. We don't talk about this state a lot, but they set records in January. Arkansas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know I'm skipping around the country
here
a little bit.
Let's give them a little press. What did Arkansas do?
$7.1 million in handle.
And that's a record.
That's a record for the state.
Congratulations, Arkansas.
Also a revenue record of $1.39 million. That's up 32% from December and almost 450% from January of last year.
Okay.
That's a
crazy number.
We don't talk too much about Arkansas too much.
Well,
and, it's one of those things where we probably should keep an eye on that. And
hey, they set a record. Congratulations, Arkansas.
New Hampshire also set a record
All right.
for handle of $59.8 million in January.
Right now, is it all DraftKings up there?
That's the mobile stuff,
That's just the mobile. That's all DraftKings.
$49.4 million handle of mobile. Retail handle of $10.4 million. It's the first time the retail sports betting cleared $10 million. So that's an unusual
That's
stat
very interesting. In January in New Hampshire, they get a lot of snow, so people are braving the elements and going out and placing their bets. Good for them.
And it's their fourth straight month of $4 million or more in revenue. So they're getting a really solid sports betting industry in New Hampshire.
Well, they have absolutely no competition up there.
No, that's true.
Let's be honest. They have Rhode Island, but Massachusetts is the state between Rhode Island and New Hampshire. So, but that's the only state in the northern part of New England.
If you're talking New England, I'm curious to see when and if Connecticut comes into play.
They have the facilities. I would think this year. I can't believe it won't be this year.
Well, DraftKings already has to deal with one of the casinos there in Connecticut.
They have two big casinos. They have Foxwoods and
they're still talking about a third one, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the two tribes coming together to get a third one.
Well, my point is they can quickly
they can
jump into sports betting,
well,
both mobile and
like
retail.
I said, DraftKings already has an access deal.
Yep.
So, and Vermont may come into play, too, because Vermont has really nothing except a lottery.
See, we were talking about, New York is a worry for New Jersey, and California might be a worry for Nevada later on. Vermont will be a worry for New Hampshire because they're right next to each other, and they're right in bordering on Massachusetts, both of them. And New York.
I think New Hampshire's worry will be Massachusetts more so than Vermont.
Yeah. Well,
Vermont population
problem
isn't as much of a problem for New Hampshire. And New Hampshire also has casinos and poker rooms, charity stuff, but poker rooms, they have casinos.
But the thing is, Massachusetts is probably farther down the road for sports betting than Vermont is. I would think Vermont might go quicker with sports betting than Massachusetts.
Well, if you think also about it, if Vermont ever
launches... I could be wrong, but it feels like
Vermont
Massachusetts is nowhere near.
No, 14 bills in their legislation.
They're nowhere near.
They got to do some really good editing on those
When the
bills.
state starts thinking about forming a commission to study sports betting, sports betting is well down the road.
Yeah.
So,
but I think really, if you think about it, where New Hampshire is, if Vermont actually does get sports betting relatively soon, relatively within the year, maybe, I think New Hampshire redoubles its marketing efforts in Massachusetts, Maine, and Connecticut, even Rhode Island.
Sure.
To try and get some of the customer base from those other states, because I just don't see Vermont. Massachusetts isn't a problem for New Hampshire, ever. I don't think it ever will
Actually,
be.
you know what? The governor of New Hampshire, Governor Sununu, always takes a jab at Massachusetts, saying, we love your money, so come up and gamble in New Hampshire.
Well, like I said, I think Vermont's probably going to be quicker to sports betting than both Connecticut and Massachusetts, the way that state's moving with their sports betting
I feel the opposite. I feel Connecticut is closer to Vermont, but
I don't know.
Vermont is closer to sports betting than Massachusetts.
Everything I see coming out of
Are we talking about New England a lot or what?
Because it's interesting with New Hampshire there. New Hampshire's like a little peg out there. Nationally, in January of 2021 here, like I said at the beginning of this, it was a very good year. 15 states brought out their handle as we're recording this. By the time this airs, you'll probably see one or two more. The handle came out to, I'm going to get this right here, $3.495 billion for the month of January alone.
Wow. And that could go up, you said, right?
Yeah, because Illinois still hasn't given out their numbers. Tennessee really hasn't given out some of their numbers. Oh, I'm sorry, they do. I actually have Tennessee's numbers here right below that note. So,
okay.
Tennessee came in with $211 million in January.
Okay.
But, there's still Illinois out there. There's still Delaware out there.
So for January, the national handle was $3.49 billion, and that could go up within days, right, of that total.
And if you think about it, Nevada and Colorado brought in almost $1 billion themselves. New Jersey brought by itself almost $1 billion. Pennsylvania is getting close to that stuff. So those numbers are really, really interesting. I don't know exactly how February numbers are going to be. February is typically kind of a lower month.
Yeah, it's weird because you do have the Super Bowl, but then again, it's only one football game, although it's a huge betting football game, but you don't have the playoffs every week in football for that, which is the big moneymaker for betting.
Well, we'll see exactly how January rounds out, but again,
Yeah, in a couple weeks.
Illinois takes 2 months to report a month back.
Right.
So, anyway, legislation real quickly. Alabama. We don't talk about Alabama at all for this stuff.
I don't remember talking about Alabama.
They now have authored a state constitutional amendment authorizing charitable bingo, casinos, sports wagering, and a proposed state lottery. So they're jumping in with both feet.
Well,
into
good
the
for
gambling
them.
pool.
They're really embracing this.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I hope they are.
Alabama is the one state that has nothing.
Yeah. And Hawaii.
And I don't know about Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about
See, I didn't know
gambling.
Alabama didn't have a lottery.
Alabama
I always
nothing.
think that every state has a lottery, and they don't. Hawaii doesn't, and apparently Alabama doesn't.
Well, we'll see what happens in Alabama. Illinois, one last piece of legislation. There's a whole bunch of other legislative moves going on, but Illinois, there was a bill filed to allow sports betting participation by women's pro sports teams.
What does that mean? You mean they're allowed to advertise
WNBA,
sports
Chicago
betting or
Sky,
make deals?
Make deals to do licensing. Chicago Sky, which is WNBA, the women's pro basketball team.
Okay.
Chicago Red Stars, which is the National Women's Soccer League team.
All right.
To get sports betting licenses.
All right. Okay.
So, we'll see where that goes, but that was a nice little interesting introductory bill for women's sports teams, specifically focused for them. Going over to the deal side of everything, we had two 20-year deals. Penn National did a deal with Rivers Casino Schenectady. Really, it's Capital Region Gaming.
Yeah, that's New York. Yeah,
for New York, that's a 20-year access deal for New York mobile sports betting and iGaming.
I feel mobile sports betting in New York is getting close. So,
well, Penn National, as everyone knows, is Barstool Sports.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see when and if they actually make it into the state.
Barstool, they're doing very well with regard to the sports book because Pennsylvania, they have a mobile sports book which is doing very well. They have a mobile sports book in Michigan, which is doing extremely well in the couple weeks they were open. So
we'll see. But
the couple weeks that Michigan has allowed online sports betting, so they're doing very well.
Staying in New York, we have Golden Nugget also getting a online sports betting and iGaming access deal in New York with Tioga Downs, American Racing and Entertainment. That's Jeff Corral.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see when Golden Nugget launch. Everything is really dependent upon regulatory approvals and legislation passing and enacting.
It's got to be close to New York. You just feel it, Yeah, I mean, New Jersey, you can feel the rumblings coming from the north. I mean, it's coming.
And one other note, DraftKings added Cal Ripken to their board of advisors. Great move by them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They love adding the big names to their board of advisors, and that is probably one of the best names they could have put onto the board there.
Cal Ripken came to my mind earlier this week because I'm looking for my I have a rookie Cal Ripken card, baseball card I'm looking for. I can't find it. It's worth a good chunk of change, and I'm rifling through my belongings to find it, but good for Cal Ripken.
I actually think DraftKings would be smart to reach out to a company like Panini or something that does the cards, and all their athletes advisors do sports betting trading cards for them.
Oh, okay.
So that'd be kind of interesting to see them do that. Last but not least, we have this crazy deal between Vegas Golden Knights and UPick Trade. Everyone trashed the deal.
That was just weird. That was a weird from the beginning. I said, why are they doing that? And I'm not sure what their whole rationale was. And, and I guess a lot of other people thought it too. And more importantly, the Golden Knights rethought it as well.
Well,
I guess
UPick is not a sports book, which would make this deal a little bit more kosher for everybody. UPick is a tout service. They sell picks.
Well, that's the situation. I didn't know why they were even involved themselves. I didn't know what the relationship would entail.
Well, according to UPick, and this was the big thorn in the sports betting industry side. You got to look at it both sports betting industry wise and general public side here.
Yeah.
Sports betting industry works so hard to deal with integrity of the game.
Sure.
Unusual betting situations where they police all that stuff. UPick has when they made this deal, they asked UPick was asked about access, what they were getting from the Knights in this besides advertising.
Yeah.
And UPick has come out and said that They never did ask for and didn't expect injury reports, advanced injury reports, advanced lineups, that sort of stuff. And again, everyone was really concerned about whether or not they were getting that information. That old argument from sports betting, why was the injury report released so early so the bookies can put the lines together?
Well, look, I mean, as in other professions, you're not looking for impropriety. The problem is the appearance of impropriety.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that everything is up and up, but also you want to show and make people feel that everything is on the up and up.
Well,
and maybe this kind of, I'm sure it could have been on the up and up. I'm sure they weren't expecting access information for sensitive material for their betting information. But the problem is a lot of people would be thinking that. And if people are starting to think that, even though if it's not true, that hurts the industry.
Well, I have to look at it.
Did I go a long way for that one?
That was the right way to phrase it. I think you got to look at it in two ways. From the sports betting industry side, that's the argument they used. Sure. Vegas probably was not expecting that backlash.
I still don't know why they did it. I don't
understand it either.
I don't get the whole. I'd love to be in that meeting, say, with someone presenting that and say, "Hey, this would be a good idea."
But if you look at it from a business standpoint, not from the sports betting industry side, but the business standpoint, and since I handle all the advertising chores for running the shows, I have to look at it as this was a sponsorship deal. It's not an endorsement. It's just money coming in. It's an advertising deal. In their eyes, it was just another sports betting entity that they were doing a deal with that ran along those lines. That may have been the thinking in the front office, in the advertising marketing offices, divisions of Vegas Golden Knights. That may be the only way that you can look at it, that deal made sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it from the business side, it makes sense because they got money coming in. They're giving value for the advertising money. It was just a straight deal as a sponsorship.
But the weird thing, the way it came out in the news is the Golden Knights did a deal with UPick.
Yeah.
The headlines started having bells and whistles
rung. Exactly.
But
But again, in terms of sponsorship, and there's a dichotomy in sponsorship that I'm not getting in this country, because a lot of times people are equating sponsorship with endorsement. And that's where a lot of people get confused as to whether or not this deal was an endorsement of the UPick trade tout service. I don't know if it really was. I don't know the thinking.
I don't even know the particulars of the deal.
They were never disclosed.
Was UPick going to become an official whatever?
They were the official.
I don't know what I don't even know what the deal entailed.
They were called the official sports betting pick service partner.
Okay.
Under the deal, none of the terms were disclosed.
Well, that's what we think. That's what one reporter said. That
that's what the deal was reported as.
Okay,
the official sports pick service partner.
Well, that's
what
it was
Golden
reported
Knights.
as. They could deny that too.
Well, again, the deal's dead. But again, it's a matter of sponsorship versus endorsement. And also whether or not this was an integrity issue waiting to happen, which it was, I think.
Probably.
Down the road, whether or not they started off that way, who knows. But down the road, I think you would have had the integrity issues. Well, that's it for this week's. We got a whole bunch of other stories we didn't hit, we didn't have time for. So if you head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, you will see these stories that we did talk about and stories we did not hit in print form on our blog.
And that'll do it for us. Hey, stay safe out there if you're visiting one of the newly opened casinos or sports books. We'll talk to you next time on the Turnpike.